We are just over a week away from the 2018 Winter Olympic Games. I can't wait. For Canadian athletes, it's a week of displaying their hours of hard work. For most of us, it's cheering on Team Canada. But as Josie Foster explains, a lot more goes into the Games than meets the eye.
Dedication, determination, perseverance, persistence. There's no doubt that the athletes rightfully steal the spotlight at the Olympic Games. But it takes an army to put on such an event for these national medalists. Ontario's Katie DeVoe had an Olympic dream, and this year it's being satisfied in a way she didn't expect.
I mean, always as an elite athlete, it's your dream to go to the Olympics, and I didn't do that on an athletic level, but I'm working my way doing that on the business side as well. So that's kind of how I got the interest in the business side too, was because I saw how competitions, national championships are executed from athlete side, and I wanted to see all the things that had to go into it and how an organization had to work as a well-oiled machine to execute a large event. And the Olympics is a very large event.
DeVoe is a former ice dancer who is now at Brock University studying sport management. She even skates for her school. Her program's fourth year includes an internship in the field, which landed her a position on the Canadian Olympic Committee to work with the brand partners.
So essentially they pay the Canadian Olympic Committee to use their brand and logos and stuff like that. So we essentially work with them, and we also keep an eye out on non-Olympic sponsors as well to see how they are interacting with athletes and representing themselves during the Games time, because there are strict rules around that if you're not an Olympic partner.
DeVoe is part of the committee's home team who remain in Toronto to hold the fort, while her colleagues are in South Korea. But another Ontarian will be breathing the Pyeongchang air.
I haven't seen a schedule yet, but I'm going to guess I'm going to be working every day as of right now, just because they're bringing us over at a pretty heavy expense, so they want us to work as much as we can. So
Johnston made his Olympic Zamboni debut in 2010 at the Vancouver Olympics. He's leaving his home rink in London, Ontario for a couple weeks to flood the hockey rinks in Korea. And Johnston isn't the only Canadian packing their bags for the second time. John Koopmans of Feature Productions here in Lethbridge is already there setting up for the Games, and his boss Steve remembers working the Games in 2010.
He was kind of the vet at the whole Olympics game, because he's done Olympics and Commonwealth Games, World Cup soccer, but this was my first crack at a world stage.
Prankard's production company films the Lethbridge Hurricanes hockey games.
Yeah, after being in production for so many years, and my company now is involved in a lot of sports production, you definitely look at the whole sports TV thing quite differently. You're watching and enjoying the sport, but at the same time you're critiquing the production and kind of seeing how they do things and trying to figure stuff out. So Vancouver was a cool thing because I was at events that I hadn't done, ski jumping, border cross, that kind of stuff.
The Olympic Games begin February 9th in South Korea, where Canada has over 200 athletes representing us with fierce ambition. The last Games were held in Russia, where Canada brought home 24 medals, 10 of which were gold. For Bridge City News, I'm Josie Foster.